What's up guys, Lewis here, and in today's video I want to touch on and teach you how to lose 10 pounds as quick as you possibly can. For those of you who don't know, I am the owner of the Lemon Frog Fitness Company. This is my gym that I've built to help women feel more confident when they train, so they don't have the busyness of the gym and other people watching them and feeling unconfident, right? And I've been helping women for well over 8 years now find confidence in their body, find confidence in the gym by lifting weights, losing body fat and toning up. And I want to share some of my expertise that I've picked up over the years with you to help you on your journey too. So like I said, in this video, I'm going to teach you to lose 10 pounds as quickly as you can. And what I want you to do first is I want you to go into your cupboard at home. I want you to get a big concoction of laxatives. And then I want you to take that as quick as you can. And then I'm going to get you to chop off your arm and then step on the scales. Hurrah, we've just lost 10 pounds. Now, none of you actually care about losing 10 pounds. And this is what we need to get into your head. So many women are so fixated on the number of the scales that that's all they think about is just losing that weight and that number becoming lower. But the thing is, you don't actually care about your weight because that was a way you could have just lost 10 pounds by cutting off your arm and taking a bunch of laxatives, right? You're not going to feel any more confident. You're not going to be any more happier in your skin, right? So we need to, again, get that out of your head right away. What you want to do is lose body fat. You want to tone up, you want to feel good in your skin, you want to be able to go into your cupboard, pull out a dress and know that you're going to feel great in it rather than having 10 different things thrown on the bed and feeling like shit after every single one, right? That's what you really want to achieve. And to do that, it doesn't really matter about your weight. It matters about losing body fat and toning up. So what I'm going to do in this video is teach you how to do that rather than just lose weight that doesn't actually mean anything, okay? So what we need to touch on is firstly, we need to make sure that you're moving more every single day because you want to burn as many calories as possible, right? We all have that one person that we know that seems to be able to eat whatever they want and never gain any weight. Whereas you look at a cookie and you put on 2 pounds, right? We all know that person, it all frustrates the hell out of us, but the reason that they're able to do that isn't because they have this special metabolism or genetics that you don't have, it's because they move a lot more than you do. There was this study done where this group of participants, they were all put into a small room, like a relatively small room, and they were kept there for 24 hours. It wasn't all at once because there was 166 different participants, and yeah, it was all monitored over a few days or whatever it was. And what they found out was the difference between people was some people burnt 200 calories in that room over 24 hours, where some people I think was burning 700 calories. So it's a massive difference in the amount of calories that they're burning every single day. Now the reason between those two differences was that people that are burning more, they moved more, they fidgeted more. Like I'm doing in this video, my hands constantly move, right? They were up on their feet more, whereas some people just didn't actually do that much. They stayed fairly put, right? So the first thing that we need to do is get you moving more. The more that you move every single day, whether that's fidgeting, whether that's getting your steps up, whether that's taking your phone call stood up instead of being sat down at a desk, all this stuff adds up across the days, months, years, all that sort of stuff, and helps us burn more calories. So that's the first thing we need to do is get you moving more. And the best way to do that is by getting you doing more steps and tracking that through like a Fitbit or some sort of step tracker watch, right? So that's the first thing that we want to be able to do. Okay, so the next thing we need to look at is your calories, right? Calories determine absolutely everything. Despite what you're going to read online, that you have to do no carb, that you have to do fasting and stuff, that's the only way to lose body fat. This isn't true. The only thing that remains true is calories in versus calories out, okay? If you burn 2,000 calories a day, but you eat 2,200 calories, those extra 200 calories are gonna get stored as body fat. Whereas if you burn 2,000 calories a day, but you eat, let's say 1,700, your body needs to find those extra 300 calories it's burning. So what it does is it takes it from stored body fat, and then from there, it burns it off. And then we start losing fat, right? So the thing that we need to get right is your calories. Now, I know you might be thinking that, well, I eat healthy, I make good choices, I'm trying to get more protein in, I'm definitely eating a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight. If you're not losing weight, if you're not losing body fat, then you're not in a calorie deficit no matter how much that you think you are. Now, this can be quite a tough pill to swallow, of course, but it's the truth. Even if you believe you're eating low calories but not losing body fat, then you're still not in a calorie deficit. You're burning less calories than you thought you were. So what we need to be able to do is to be able to work out how many calories we need to eat to be able to actually be in a deficit, okay? So what I want you to do is start tracking your calories every single day, monitoring your weight while you're doing that, and then seeing if there's any differences. If your weight's coming down, then you're in a calorie deficit, so it's all good. If it's staying the same, then you're in maintenance calories and you need to pull it back a little bit, maybe drop it by 200. Whereas if you're gaining weight over that period of time, then yeah, we're gonna have to look into that and then bring it back. But once you start getting your calories right, again, this is gonna be the best way and fastest way for you to be able to start losing body fat like you want to. After we got your steps right, after we got you tracking your calories and everything, the next thing we need to focus on is weight training. Now, weight training is going to be the only way that you can tone up and build muscle, okay? Not doing loads of cardio, not just focusing on doing HIIT classes, anything like that. Like that isn't gonna help you build and reshape your body. This may have happened to you or it's happened to someone you know. They've lost a decent amount of weight, but they just look like a smaller version of themselves. They don't look any more different in their body shape. They just look, again, a smaller version. Now, this is because they may have lost weight, but they haven't built any muscle and reshaped their body in the process, right? And again, this is why it's important to understand what you actually want to achieve. You're not bothered about just losing weight, because if you look like a smaller version of yourself and you're not still more confident because you're still soft to the touch and you don't look more toned, you're not going to be happy, right? So what we need to make sure that we're doing is toning up along the way, and weight training is literally the only thing that we can do to help us do this. What you want to do is make sure that you're training at least 3 times per week and lifting heavy in those sessions as well, okay? If you're going in trying to lift light weights for high reps, this isn't going to help you change the body shape, right? Now, there is no difference between lightweight and high reps versus like heavyweight and low reps. It doesn't achieve a different outcome. It's the same thing if the intensity is matched. That's the important thing there. As long as intensity is matched, it doesn't matter whether you lift, again, high reps, low weight, lower weight, low reps, high weight. It doesn't matter, right? But what matters is that intensity. But you're going to be able to reach that intensity a lot more easier if you go for the heavy weight, and you're going to achieve it in less time, right? Instead of having to do 30, 40 reps of a lightweight, you can just do 8 reps of a heavyweight and achieve the same outcome. So you're going to save yourself a lot of time and you're going to be able to train harder with that. So that's another thing that we need to focus on, lifting heavy at least 3 times per week in the gym and being consistent with that. That's going to be another thing that's going to really help you achieve that outcome that you want to be able to achieve. And when we have more muscle, we do burn more calories. It's not hundreds of calories a day like people like to preach, like muscle burns so much more calories than body fat. It's a small amount, but nevertheless, it's an amount and it adds up over time too. The fourth thing I would need you to start looking at is your sleep as well. Sleep is going to play a big role in how successful you are in your journey. And it's not that if you don't sleep enough, your body holds on to more fat. But what happens is your hormones, particularly your hunger hormones, are going to be disrupted. What tends to happen is when we don't get enough sleep in, our hunger hormone shoots through the roof, right? And then our satiety, the hormone that keeps us full, also known as leptin, that plummets down. So we've got ghrelin, your hunger hormone, going up, and we got leptin, your satiety hormone, dropping. When that happens, it's sending a signal to your brain that we need to find food. We need energy, right? If you're not sleeping enough, you're not getting enough replenished energy. So your body sends the signals for your body to go out and find more food for more energy. Typically, that comes in like carbs and sugary foods, which aren't going to be necessarily the best thing for what it is that you want to achieve. Firstly, carbs aren't bad. Let's get that into your head. Like, carbs are completely fine. But if you're having too many carbs, too much sugar, not enough protein, then that's where the issue can start to come in, right? So again, that's going to happen if you're not getting enough sleep in. Also, when you don't get enough sleep, your training's going to plummet. So we know that we need that to be able to reshape and build muscle. Your energy for being able to move more, like get your steps in and stuff like that, that's going to drop as well. And as we know, we need to keep those steps up nice and high to be able to burn more calories. And also your food choices are going to change, right? Like when we're tired, when we're fatigued, the last thing we want to do is cook a nice, healthy, nutritious meal, right? We're going to go to the fridge, grab what we want, order a takeaway, whatever it is, right? So it's not that sleep directly makes you gain fat, but the knock-on effect of what happens when you don't get enough sleep, that leads to you gaining body fat or not losing weight, not losing fat, whatever it is, right? And then also when we're training in the gym, technically we're not building muscle in the gym because we're causing damage to the muscles. So when we're lifting heavy weights and going towards failure and stuff when we're training, we're causing what's known as like micro tears in the muscles. So we're technically not building muscle in the gym. It's when we go back and we recover, we replenish our body with good protein and good nutrition, we get enough sleep and recovery in, that's when our body goes in and starts repairing those muscles, building another layer of muscle tissue and then making it bigger and more toned, right? So that's why sleep is so important for, again, what it is that you want to achieve. And then the final thing that you need to do to be able to lose 10 pounds of fat as fast as you can is focus on the routine, not the outcome, okay? I see a lot of people get really disheartened because they're so focused on losing a specific number of weight that when it doesn't happen fast enough, they soon give up. And then because they've given up, they never achieve the goal altogether, right? Whereas what we know is if we focus on the habits that we need to be able to lose those 10 pounds of fat, it is going to come, right? If you are focusing on getting a certain number of steps every day, if you're focusing on being in a calorie deficit and improving your nutrition as much as you can, every single week you're sticking to your gym schedule, you're not missing a session, you continue to go, and you're focusing on your sleep. If you're doing all these things consistently, there's no way that you're not going to be able to lose 10 pounds of body fat, right? It's going to happen. So what you need to do is always just focus on the routine. As long as you stay consistent, as long as you stay on top of that, you'll be good. You won't get disheartened because you'll just be living your daily life as that routine. And as time goes on, as you get better at everything, as you get more consistent, you will start to see that body fat level come down. You'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel more confident. And ultimately, you would have achieved your goals. So that's why it's important to not just solely focus on the goal, but focus on the routine that's going to help you get there. And I promise, if you start focusing on these 5 things, you will lose 10 pounds of body fat as quickly as possible. So hopefully this video has helped you out and helped you understand what it is that you need to do to be able to lose 10 pounds of body fat as quick as you can. And hopefully it's helped you to see that you don't need to be caught up with what the scales say and what the weight is necessarily, because that's not really your goal. It's everything else, right? It's the confidence, it's the body fat loss, it's the energy, all that sort of stuff, right? So if you like this video, please make sure that you give it a like, subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be posting more videos just like this to help you on your journey.